Alright, in this video we're going to review how we're going to add two numbers when it's using decimals here. And what we can see already, normally you might see a problem where it's written out as in horizontally like this. And what we need to do is then transfer it to this vertical where then our place values are lined up. So there's two ways you can look at it. You can either look at it this way right here, or we can look at it with our place value chart. And both ways are acceptable to use as long as we're doing the same thing as lining up our place values. So then we're actually adding apples to apples and oranges to oranges. If they're not lined up correctly, then you're not necessarily working towards or adding numbers that are correctly. So with this in mind, so here's what we'll do. We're going to build these two numbers just like we did in our previous one with the comparing here. So I'm going to take my first number right here, and I'm going to place my decimal first, and then I'm going to draw my number right around it to match up exactly how I see it there. So here I have the number 5 and 72 hundredths. Below it, I'm going to draw my second number, 2 and 34 hundredths here. And I'll draw my line, and really all this is just line up the place values, and it looks just like this does over here. Well, what this is going to look like here, it's the same thing. Okay, I'm going to be adding up 2 plus 4. Well, I know 2, and sometimes if I can't do these on my fingers or in my head, I like to draw them out there, and then I count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Then I have 7 plus 3. Well, I know 7 plus 3 makes 10. That's one way to make 10 there. Now, this is a weird part because I have to regroup here, because I simply can't have 10 there. What I have to do is I have to bundle, and this 1 is actually going to scoot right up over in the top and come right over my next place value there. So 10 tenths makes 1 whole. Okay, but then I can't keep that 10 there, okay, because I have nothing left over. They all went over here to make that 1, 1. Okay, so I end up with a 0 here. And then I have to add up my last place value here, my 1s. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 2 more, 7, 8. So I end up with 8 here. But I'm missing one thing at the end, and this is a common misconception here. We have to make sure that we have our decimal that's already lined up here. We got to include it in our answer here. Okay, so we can do the same thing over on here in our problem. 2 plus 4 is 6. 7 plus 3 is 10, but I got to carry my 1 over here instead. 1 plus 5 plus 2 is 8. Bring down my decimal. It's the same way here. It's just making this easier so the kids can see how these place values are actually lined up there.